Hey there, guys. Okay, so today has been quite a good little thing for me, actually. It's I've got a couple of simulators. I've got this Free Rider FPV and Rotor Rush, and in them, of course, I can practice flips and bits and pieces. But there's a big difference between using a simulator for your flips and actually doing it with your own quad. In a simulator, if you crash and you just, you know, reset and go off again, that's fine. If you quad, of course, if you crash, well, depending on how hard you crash, depending on what's going to happen. Now, one of the reasons why I fly in these places where I fly in the way I do is because, one, I don't have to run very far to retrieve the quad if it goes down for any reason. Two, because of where it is, if I do come crashing down, like today, I'm in that soft mud today. That is pretty soft mud, and when I actually leave there today, going down the bottom of the hill, I slip up and and get myself caked in mud, which is all part of the fun. But I haven't actually tried with my quad flips or rolls or anything. I've just been too scared. I'm a sort of like, with this, I'm sort of like step by step, learn to walk before I can run type thing. I don't want to just push it, lose my quad or damage it up too bad. And because I got used to flying my ZMR frame, getting back to this one a little bit is a bit different because, of course, I don't have anywhere near as much throttle range as what I got with the other one. And you might think to yourself, well, that should make life a little bit easier. Well, it would do if I wasn't that lazy. I've been too lazy to set up the throttle on my Taranis in order to sort of match the range, not the range of how much power I can get, but forward. You know, if I push it all the way forward, I've got 100%. But of course, if I'm only halfway on my ZMR, halfway gives me, let's say, 65% of power, where halfway on this gives me sort of around about 50% of power. Now I need 60% just to hover on this. So the range difference is quite a bit, and I can feel it. I'm having to really sort of push forward. Not right at this minute, I'm flying, but this is like the pre-video to the next one. In the next video, because there was quite a bit today, and I just wanted to show you the way this camera works. The sun did come in and out, and I was really hoping I could catch it, but I didn't quite do so well to sort of show how the sun was going to cope with, how this camera was going to cope with the sun directly in its eyes. And I haven't changed any of the wide dynamic settings or anything like that, the wide dynamic range, in order to compensate for the sun, so I don't just get a blacked out picture when I'm facing the sun. But this is like I said, this is like the it's just my warm up. I'm just getting myself warmed up, you know, my fingers sort of recalibrated again to this, because I've been on my simulator. And when I go on the simulator, because I fly on the simulator, maybe I might get an hour, even 2 hours in sometimes, I put different thumb, I don't know what they're called actually, the things that you know, the little sharp, the ends of the sticks, you can take them off. On most controllers you can take them off and you can put different ones on, but I got wider ones that when I'm on the simulator. Otherwise I end up with sores on the ends of my thumbs, which makes it quite uncomfortable to fly, really. So I'm just getting my feel back in again, and so I'm like just buzzing around, and I'm just pushing this quad a little bit, just to you know, I want to, if I'm going to crash it and mess it up, I want to do it close to me. So, but in this bit now, in a little while, I'll actually show that it's not that difficult. Do you know, if you guys, I don't know why I ever wanted to fly not being in manual mode. It seems crazy to me now, just because when I got my Cyma, of course that's manual mode. It's a little £30 quad, it's in manual mode, and you don't think twice about it. You start flying around, you don't think twice about it. And then I went on to this one, of course, and then with this one you've got the GPS stuff, and you've got the altitude hold. Altitude hold and GPS hold are okay, but what I found when I was flying with them, GPS I couldn't get on with, just because it's like you're attached to a bit of an elastic band. You know, you try and do manoeuvres and it's trying to pull you back, and it really makes it frustrating to try and fly, because when you're flying you want it to be pretty smooth and just a constant movement. And then of course altitude hold, that's not too bad. That's a big difference to GPS with the Hubsan, and I found I really preferred altitude hold. But the problem that I had with altitude hold is when I go and do some manoeuvres, like if I went up high and I tried to swoop down, like now, going up high trying to swoop down, I would end up having to fight with the controller and with the quad. You see that little bit of shuddering there? That's because I'm dropping it below what the, I don't know what you'd call it, but the idle speed of the propellers, where it wouldn't be taking itself up, it'd be just hovering itself. And you go below that and you're almost losing the control of the motors, which gives it that sort of like little bit of a wobbly. But I've got to take it to those in order to realise where it is, you know, so I can really learn. I can have a little look at the throttle control percentage and I can think, okay, right, yeah, there it is. Because when you do your flips, of course, you want to be able to not lose motor control. So you want to sort of like just drop it down to that type of place. And of course, all of this just shooting around, you know, flying around, is all muscle memory. And that's what you're doing. You're learning to, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm learning by looking at, you know, what's going on for my, see a little tiny twitch then as I dropped into the 50s. And I'm just learning as I go along, and that's what I'm doing. That's all I want to do. I just want to keep learning to do this, because the more I do of this, the more muscle memory you get, and the easier it becomes. I know that when I first went on the simulator, on the racing part of the simulator with the air gates, low air gates, I would go around the track first above them, and I'd just start turning in, and I'd feel how to pull the back end of the quad out by dropping down on the throttle when I was going through a bend. You know, if I take a hard left, I'll pull back on the throttle as I'm going into that hard left, so it pulls the back end of the quad round and helps turn you around a lot quicker, turn me into that corner. And of course I can just like power back out of it again. You see what I can see what the sun's doing there. With it, so I should change the dynamic range. It's okay when I'm facing downwards, but when I'm tilted up a little bit, it starts going a bit darker on the picture. Not when my back's to the sun, but when when the lens is facing the sun. So yeah. So, but on the next one, which is the bit after this video, because I just wanted to put this bit up anyway, because I know you guys like seeing the Hubsan flying around, and you know, I tell you what, you know, it's a completely different bird in manual mode. I'm going to say that. I was getting a bit knocked off with it. I was getting a bit, because I could feel that, okay, you know, flying through the little park and going underneath the bits, underneath the swings and stuff, that's all good fun, it is. And it's great to get your control there, because if you don't get it to drop down that low, if you don't get it through that gap, you're going to crash, and it's great to tweak your reactions. But I like the idea of being able to fly high and swoop down, you know, just like bring it down hard left or something, swooping down to the ground and just pull it out of the ground just before I get real close to the ground. Like this sort of thing. Okay, buff. So I'll learn for the next time, you know, maybe I've got to just try and pull up a little bit, a little bit better the next time. But when I was flying in altitude hold, that barometer thing, that altitude hold part, does fight you a little bit. And what I found was the couple of times when I did swoops down, that I would actually lose control of the sticks. I'd have a second, or maybe slightly more than a second. Now that was my first roll, That is my first one. With this, I've done them where you press the button on the side mirror before and you can get it to flip and roll and whatever, but never before have I done it myself. And these are my first ones. I'm quite proud of myself for this. I thought it was going to be more difficult than this, and even though there's a bit of wet on the lens, I'm still pretty proud of myself for doing this. But yeah, in manual mode, this is a much better bird. It's not a lot nicer to fly. It feels a little awkward for me at the minute because I'm just been used to that 3-cell battery, and this is a 2-cell battery. But it is, for me, this feels a lot more of a pleasure to fly now, and especially now I know I can do these flips. And then the next part, because I didn't want to just add it on to the end of this, otherwise the video would just run on too long. And the next bit, I'll put this up probably tonight or tomorrow. And there'll be a lot more flips. I'll do 100 meters and do a little sweep down and everything. But a whole bunch more flips right in front of me, so you can see me inside. Hope you enjoyed. And I can't wait actually to put the next one up.